celebration.
It's my honor to introduce Harris Payne. He works with the Nebraska Department of Education, and Harris is here to recognize one of our teachers for our Teacher of the Year. Yes, sir, please. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate the honor to be allowed to come and present this award. I know it's a busy time of year, getting ready to gear up for school, and again, I appreciate the time to be able to come and do this. We have some multimedia I'd like to show at this time, so that gives you a little bit of background knowledge about what is Gilder Lehrman and the great award that one of your excellent elementary teachers has won this year.
Gilder Lehrman founded the National History Teacher of the Year Award in 2004 to honor outstanding history teachers at every level across the country.
Winning the National History Teacher of the Year Award validated what I do in the classroom. It let me know that what I'm giving students, the knowledge that I'm giving them, the sense of what it means to be an American citizen is really going to make a difference for them.
Ever since we launched in 1995, history has been really engaged in encouraging history education at all levels, but particularly in the classroom. We're very proud of our partners, and we know that working together is the only way we can achieve this continuation of excellence in the classroom.
We have to be cognizant of our rich history, both its troublesome parts as well as those parts where we've shown great promise. And our American history teachers are our guides in showing us how we've overcome difficulties in the past as well as how we thrive.
Most Americans remember a good history teacher. That teacher connects us with the American Revolution, the importance of the Constitution, the agony of the Civil War, the ending of slavery. Pick your chapter, and if it was well taught, you remember the teacher, you remember the grade, you remember the experience.
We have teachers nominated at every level throughout the country, and invariably these outstanding teachers share certain qualities. Of course, they're masters of their subject, and they know the history inside out, but this isn't about facts and dates per se. It's about instilling in students certain skills, doing it creatively and with imagination. And perhaps that matters most of all. These are people who model a passion for American history and instill in their students an imaginative connection with the past that really makes a difference in thousands of kids' lives.
Well, it's my great honor to present Nicholas Kleve with the Nebraska State Gilder Lehrman History Teacher of the Year Award. If you please give him a round of applause. Kleve has a couple of different, what you want to say? That's his son. They very well behaved. Very, very good. He gets a couple of different items here. This one is a plaque that is going to be displayed in your elementary school, your Abraham Lincoln Elementary School. He gets to keep that for 2 years in the school. I was very pleased to hear that it's going to get prominence right up there with all the sports award trophies, and it's going to be there right up front. He also has a personal plaque that he gets to keep, and I believe he's already gotten a check from Gilder Lehrman. You haven't gotten the check yet? It's in the mail. He'll get a $1,000 check from Gilder Lehrman. Now, he's the Nebraska State History Teacher of the Year. That puts him in the running for the National History Teacher of the Year that you just saw up in the program. And we'll know about that in a few weeks. And I think you have just an outstanding candidate here for that. He instills passion in kids in terms of learning about history. He gets them to do what I call character education, where they not only learn about a historical figure, but they learn about why that person is important and why that's an important role model in their own lives. And that's a very, very important thing to do. I just can't say enough good things about this young man. I've only gotten to meet him briefly a couple times, but I have seen him talk to the students when we came and presented this in May at the elementary school, and the kids were just enthralled. They were up there, he got them up on their feet, they got excited about learning. And as an old educator of 32 years, there's nothing more important than a great teacher getting kids excited about learning. So thank you, Nicholas. You bet. Just a few things to say.
Well, I tell you, first I want to thank the school board for allowing me the opportunity to be here to celebrate this special recognition that I received in the Gilder Lehrman Institute for American History. And Mr. Payne, so thank you for coming down from Lincoln to join us. I want to talk just briefly, three different things I'm going to briefly talk about. First, why is it important to teach social studies, particularly American history? How to teach history, and I want to talk about some support systems that I have in place. So, first thing is, I want to share about why teach social studies, particularly history. A person that comes to mind is Thomas Edison. Now, Thomas Edison was an amazing businessman who, at 67 years old, he ran this lab, you see, and he went home for the night. He was tired working all day, so he goes home. And all of a sudden, a man comes to his house and says, "Your lab's burning down. You gotta go check it out." So he and his son calmly walk down the street to his mega lab that he had, and he sees it in flames. 6-7 stories high. This thing is just burning, you see. And people were looking at him. His employees were looking at him. The townspeople were looking at him. They had firefighters from surrounding towns trying to put this fire out, and they look at him to see how he's gonna respond. And all he says is he turns to his 24-year-old son and says, "Go get your mom and her friends. They'll never see a fire like this again in their lives," is what he said. And so people were shocked. And so then he continued to say, "Just clearing out some rubbish. You know, that's all. It's not the end of the world." You know, and here's the thing, you know, this is a huge thing because he faced such adversity, losing everything in this lab. It was a change. Here's the thing, we all face obstacles, challenges, and all kinds of adversity in our life. We do. And the story doesn't stop there because this lab was supposed to be it was concrete and it was supposed to be fireproof, you see. So he only insured it for like 1/3 of its actual value of that and everything in it. And he lost experiments and scientific, all these things that he invented and documents that were just gone. He lost $1 million in that fire. In today's standard, that'd be $10 million. But here's the thing. Within 3 weeks, he had things up and going again. He got out the next day and got out there. He didn't let it get him down. He didn't let him tear him apart. He was out there working the next day, and within 3 weeks, he had things up and going. That same year, when he lost everything in that fire, all of his financial that was tied into that same year that he had lost $1 million, he made $23 million. Today's standard, that'd be over $200 million that he was able to earn that year. And so that's a perfect example of a story about that we can use with young people, teaching them how to overcome adversity and challenges that they face. That, you know what, life will sometimes knock you down, but you got to get back up, you got to keep on going. You know, and when we can share stories like that, and we can use role models from history like that, and events in history like that, that's a pretty powerful thing. So we can use a lot of academics from history to teach non-academic skills, like persevering and overcoming and keeping a level head. So many things we can do. So that's one of the reasons why I love teaching history so much, y'all. So the next thing I want to talk about is how to teach history. Well, how many of you have seen the Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Raise your hand if you've ever seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You know, you got the teacher in it who sounds like this. In 1930, the Republican controlled the House of Representatives in an effort to alleviate the efforts of the anyone. Yeah, and the beautiful thing is when you're watching this video, you got kids drooling into class, and you got kids sleeping and throwing stuff, and yeah, come on! You know, that's not an effective teacher. You know, that is not an effective teacher. And we got to get kids fired up and excited and passionate to learn. That's the thing. You know, we got to model excitement. We got to teach students through stories and through chants and music and debates and role playing and discussions that are interactive and get them so excited that they're ready to pee their pants. That's how much we want to get kids fired up for learning, y'all. And we're not going to get it for, all right, students, take out your books. All right, I'd like you to read chapter 5 and answer the questions at the end and turn them in tomorrow. Good luck to you. And then you repeat, okay, next day, chapter 6, answer the questions. And some of you might remember having some sort of teacher who taught history like that. Man, those teachers do such a disservice to our young people who we have in society. They absolutely do. And so we can do better for our kids. And that I love the Gilder Lerman Institute with Mr. Payne just celebrating teachers, not just me, but other great history teachers who really are doing it right and trying to do the best they can to really teach our young people about history and teaching lessons through history. So, talked about why it's important to teach social studies, particularly history. I've talked about how to teach social studies, particularly history. Now I'm talking about a support system. You see, one of the reasons why I want to talk about the support system is because I think back with Dr. Fisher, what he said last spring at our final end of the year meeting. One of the things he said was that we have a lot of great teachers right here in South Sioux City. But he recognizes that we have a lot of family members and a lot of friends and a lot of people who support the great teachers right here in South Sioux City. And so that's one of the things that he wanted to make kind of a priority this year. And we got some really cool stuff going, but one of the things I know he wanted to highlight is really learning about each other and learning about who we are and what helps each other to do our optimal teaching and to be the best we can. So I have some support systems here that I want to talk about. And the first person I want to talk about who is part of my support system that allows me to be an optimal teacher is my wife, Christine. Christine, can you wave, please? I tell you, Christine is so supportive and flexible with me. If I have to come back into my classroom and work for a couple hours at night, or sometimes I'm in there like midnight working, but that's beside the point. But she's so supportive and just encourages me and just cheers me on, and I'm just so lucky to have her. Now, I want to talk about my daughter, Maya. Maya, can you say hi? Wait. She's going into first grade, and my son, Carter. Carter, say hi. He's going into TK, and let me tell you something. They are so supportive of me, too. They were talking to some of their friends last night, and what they said was, we have to go to something for Daddy tomorrow. Because he got an award for being the best history teacher in the world, is what he said. They're out there telling their little friends that in the neighborhood, and that just says it all, how much they support me and believe in me. They love that their daddy's a teacher, and so I feel their love and support as always. It's really important that I think for any teacher to have their children supporting them and believing in them also. It's so important. I tell you, I truly believe that parents are their children's first teacher, and they really can shape and guide them. And I'm so blessed to have my mother Peggy and my father Doyle. Can you wave, y'all? My mom and dad. I'm so lucky to have them as my parents, and they shaped and guided me into the man that I am today. And so much of what I am as a teacher is because of them too. They just really help make me who I am today. I got my brother Tim over here. Tim, can you wave? My brother Tim is there. And I tell you, Tim, he's an older brother. He's 4 years older. And let me tell you, Tim, he's had his share of adversity in his lifetime with dealing with some physical challenges and some learning challenges. And man, I tell you, he's made me more accepting of people and loving of people. And he's made me a better person overall, too. I just love him to death. I have to thank a really important mentor of mine this is my 13th year of teaching in South Sioux City, Nebraska, and a mentor who has been with me since the first day that I stepped into South Sioux. She actually hired me 13 years ago, is Dr. Tangela Sylvester. She is a mentor. I know she's moving on. She's working for Morningside College as a professor this year, but she's going to continue to be a mentor of mine, and she's cheered me on and supported me and gave me guidance all along the way. and I am absolutely a better teacher because of what she's given me over the years, and she's given me more than she possibly knows. So I'm thankful for Dr. Sylvester being in my life as my mentor. I have to thank South Sioux City School District, y'all, because there's so many great educators. And I talk educators, I'm talking about administrators, I'm talking, we got school board members, I'm talking about the teachers. We have so many people who are so supportive of everyone here in South Sioux City who work with young people. And I really do feel like South Sioux City School District wants me to succeed. The administrators, other teachers, everyone wants me to be successful, and I feel that love, I feel that support, and it's really helped me to push me to be the best that I can possibly be as an educator. I want to thank Wayne State. I'm an adjunct instructor for Wayne State. Also, I'm teaching 2 classes this fall for Wayne State, and it's really exciting for me because I'm starting to see a lot of my students who I had in college come in. They're either going to work in South Sioux. I have multiple ones who are working in South Sioux now, or they're student teaching in South Sioux. And that's really rewarding too. That what I love the most, I think, is when I'm teaching those classes, I get to talk about a lot of awesome things that are happening right here in South Sioux City. And I know Dr. Fisher has actually come and spoken to one of my classes before. I know Jessica and Allison have come and spoken to my class before. Tangela has also come and spoken to to a class before, and I really try to showcase the amazing things that, this isn't just what I'm trying to say here is this work isn't about me. This award is really about an amazing school district that we have here, South Sioux City School District, and I love, it's not about me, it's about showcasing and celebrating all together what's great here, what's great about South Sioux City. So, I've talked about why it's important to teach social studies, particularly history. I talked about how to teach history, and I've also talked about the importance of the support systems that I have. I'm absolutely blessed to be here. Thank you so much for the opportunity for me having time to speak to you, and I'm proud to be a South Sioux City educator, proud to be a South Sioux City Cardinal. I want to thank you all very much for your time. Thank you. Thank you all very much.
Before Nicholas comes off, I've known Nicholas for 5 years. What I do know about him is he takes, obviously, the passion of teaching quite seriously. I've seen him jump on tables. He should be jumping on tables. But the result of his work with kids, the kids absolutely adore him and will do whatever that he asks them to do when he raises the bar. But he also takes his craft quite seriously and he wants to improve every day. And that's something that you model for all of us. So, it's a well-deserved honor, and we're very proud of it.
Thank you very much.
On behalf of the school board, I'd like to just ditto what Dr. Fisher just said, and it's really great to see that where the rubber meets the road is in the classroom, and that Nicholas is representative of the teachers in our district, and we're very proud of you, proud of the job you do, and keep going.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.